Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and I'm with James Kirby today from J.Kirby Electrical.
Good morning, Nick. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good afternoon, actually.
It is, yeah. Well,
been a long day already.
Yeah, it has been a long day. It's gone fast.
Oh dear. Okay, well, let's get going. So, J.Kirby Electrical, more than 20 years' experience as dependable, reliable electrician supporting commercial organisations throughout Sussex. And residential and private as well, people,
yes.
And not just commercial. James has just launched something new on the website called Electricare, which sort of speaks for itself, because I think it is like a subscription people pay to make sure that everything is okay within their home.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Talk us through that. Talk us why and how and what.
So basically it's a prescription service, and you pay it monthly. And what it involves is we come in, first of all, we do what's called an EICR in the house, where we basically, it's a bit like a car MOT. We test all your electrics, make sure they're up to the regulations. If they're dangerous, then we obviously have to rectify those things, or if they're out of date stuff where it doesn't meet current regulations, then we can price up the remedial works for just bringing it up to standard,
okay.
And to meet today's regulations. So that's where we start off, and then once we've got that in place and we're all happy, they're happy, that's when we can offer what we call Electricare.
Okay.
So Electricare is basically a monthly fee we charge, where it covers you for any emergency call-outs. We'll cover that. Mm-hmm. And also it covers an annual visual inspection. Okay. So what happens is we'll come out to you once a year, and we'll spend an hour in your property just walking around, check inside the fuse board, check any of the accessories, make sure nothing's damaged or broken. And that's also covers replacement parts on that. Okay. Depending on what level you have. Yeah. A level of protection, sorry. Also, every 5 years, we'll repeat the EICR. Right. Because they're meant to be done every 5 years. Okay. That's the average time. Yeah. Sometimes that does change, but on average, every 5 years, we'll do the EICR again. Yeah. Also, customers that have Electricare, they also get a 10% discount on any other electrical works they want done. Okay. So if they decide they wanted to have things like EV chargers installed, then we can offer them a 10% discount. Okay, that's because nice. They're an Electricare customer. Yeah. Okay. So they also get prioritised. So if they do call us for an emergency, then we'll guarantee to be there within a set amount of time. Cool. Okay. So, yeah.
So you know the pricing? Does it depend on the size of the property? Or?
It does. Yeah. I think we've got it set at $15.99 a month.
Is it? That's good, isn't it?
It's quite good value for money, yeah. But then obviously for bigger properties, we have to kind of review that on a one-to-one basis with them, yeah.
So it's good for householders and landlords as well, of course.
Yeah. Originally, I wanted to set it up for landlords. When the new regs come out for that landlords had to meet the electrical regulations, have the ICRs in place, that's when I thought, this would be a really good service for them, because actually having something in place where they can just, it's covered, especially if they have multiple properties, then it's it'd be quite. I would imagine it would be quite handy for them. It would Definitely. Be for me if I was in their position. Yeah, knowing that you pay a set fee a month, and no matter what, you can factor that in. You don't get any surprise bills through the door. Yeah. Because some landlords, I know a lot of people think landlords are rolling in it, but some aren't. Yeah. Some are, mortgages on them, and have it all calculated properly.
I think it's good for estate agents to use it. I did a podcast not so long ago with a plumber, and he created a plumbing survey that people could pay a fee for, and then before they buy a property, they can see whether the boiler's got 6 months left on it or whatever, because you don't get told that when you buy a property. No, so this could be a similar sort of thing, where it could be offered, because you buy a property, you don't know what's going on in and around it. You don't know whether the electric's going to pack up. You don't know if it needs rewiring. You will get some sort of survey on it, but maybe not in depth. So that's good for this sort of ththing, I guess.
Yeah. And again, with the ICRs, a lot of people like to get them done before they buy a house. They know what they're walking into. Because once we do an ICR, we follow that with a quote automatically anyway, to tell you what it would need to bring it, to make it safe, or to bring it up to current regulations. But it's funny because it's just happened actually recently to somebody I know. They're buying a house, and then last minute the buyer's solicitor says, "Where's the ICR?" Right, and there's not one there. Okay. So then they're all running around panicking. It almost feels like it's a little bit of a tactic they use.
So the sale won't go through if there's not a valid EICR certificate?
Not always.
Not always, okay.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, I don't think it is a regulation yet. It was meant to be brought in. It
is for landlords from rentals, though, isn't it?
It is, actually, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's mandatory for a sale of a purchase.
No.
A lot of solicitors do ask for it, especially if they know what they're doing and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I think it's a no-brainer. It should be in place.
Shouldn't it? I agree with you.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because all sorts of
You'd
things.
be amazed the amount of DIY stuff we see when you walk in, you think...
Well, that's something I wanted to talk to you about, the dangers of electrical DIY.
Yes.
Because the obvious thing, you give yourself an electric shock. I've done it.
Yeah. Some of the stuff we see is horrendous.
Yeah.
And you see people wiring up their loft lights with doorbell cable. And you think, I don't know how it's still working, but you see a lot of it, and it is dangerous. It can cause fires, and you buy these places, and you don't know what's inside the walls and in the ceilings and loft spaces. It can be quite dangerous.
So going back to electricare, what about commercial? Can you do it for commercial properties?
We can, Again, that would be we would have to go and do a site survey and come up with a figure. We've recently been in talks with another company in New Haven that they want a monthly, a monthly cover, where we'll basically put them front of the queue. If something happens, they want us there, within a couple of hours, because production time and stuff, as soon as that production stops, it costs them a lot of money. So it actually costs them less to have a fail-safe in place.
I wonder if that would help their insurance policy. Maybe.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah, because if they can prove that they've got that in place, it shouldn't. If you're doing absolutely everything you can to stop that from ever happening, then you should, for sure. That's a selling point right there.
Yeah,
you should use that.
Yeah, I should use that.
There's some other things I wanted to ask you. It sort of follows on the theme with electricare, which is some of the common electrical problems people can look out for in their home.
Yes.
Before things start to go wrong.
Yeah.
Any obvious ones other than the plug in the?
Yeah, there is a few. There's definitely a few. I mean, with accessories, as in light switches and sockets, if you can usually tell they kind of got like a funny chamfered edge, and they're rounded edges. They're the really old MK light switches and sockets. They are usually a good sign that the cabling is really old, and it should probably be rewired.
Okay.
I mean, it's subject to obviously a test, but that is a really good telltale sign. Any cracked accessories, again, sockets and switches, or damaged or exposed cables, things like that, good signs. Or burnt damage round sockets, that's quite a common one.
Is that? They're obvious ones, really, I guess, aren't they?
They are really, exactly that. Light fittings, if you see burning round them, or exposed wires. Fuse boards, if you've got the old pull-out fuses. That should...
Don't have those anymore.
Not really, no. I mean, they in certain circumstances you can keep them with other protection before them, but to be honest, you're only delaying the inevitable. You're better off getting rid of it. Any fishy smells, because for some reason plastic and burning smells like...
It does, doesn't it?
Fish, yeah. Any smoke, if you see fire,
if you walk home and your house is on fire,
that's a good sign.
It's too late.
You need to,
we wouldn't laugh about it, but I'm sure it's not funny.
It's definitely not funny, is it?
No. I had a new fuse box fitted a couple of years ago, and you lift the lid and it's got little lights on it, so you can see what's going on, because they're often in dark, dingy little places, aren't they?
I think that was I want to say it was Chint.
Okay.
That made them boards.
Right.
It's got a little battery. You can see the battery as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
But they don't. I don't think they last. Does yours still work? 2 years down the line.
I haven't checked it actually for a while.
As a test for you.
Yeah, I can.
But it's you can replace the battery yourself. But it's a good idea.
Yeah. Little things like that. One of the benefits of having a nice new fuse box, really.
Yeah, I've got a friend actually that owns an electrical company down West Country Way, and he actually supplies and fits an emergency light next to the fuse board.
Oh, okay.
So if ever the power does go out, there's a light there.
Yeah.
Which I quite like. It's a nice little
that's a good
additional feature.
You're always searching around for a torch or a candle, which you've never got.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
When we spoke last, we talked about just a little bit about solar panels.
Yes.
because you mentioned, because we spoke, I think it was January last time we spoke.
Yeah.
And how what you didn't want to be doing is doing solar panels in December on a cold roof. But people were inquiring about it now, about that then.
Yeah, they do.
So now summer's come.
Yeah.
Is it all dried up now, or is it?
No, it's been busy again.
Okay,
Yeah, it has. Yeah, we've finished 2 last week.
Oh, you did? Good.
Still got 1 ongoing, and we've got inquiries coming in. There's a newer system coming out now where they Give Energy is a brand that we use, and they're producing what they call an all-in-one, an AIO.
Right.
And basically, it's like a battery setup that it wires in next to the fuse board.
Yeah.
And basically, if you get a power cut, then this battery will kick in and liven the whole house up, so you've still got power in the event of a power cut. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And you can actually wire in your solar into it as well, and EV chargers, so it's more like a central hub,
right?
Which is pretty cool, because that's the way I think it will all end up going. But yeah, no, it's a really cool bit of kit.
Yeah, it sounds it. So if anyone wants any information about that, I can just get in touch with you about that, especially for panels as well, and any new work for that.
Yeah, of course.
Going back to fuse boxes, when should you change it? Every 2 years, is it, or more?
Fuse boxes?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they last a lot longer than that. Yeah. No, EICRs you want to definitely get done every 5 years.
Right.
On a domestic property.
Okay.
Sometimes it's less if it's in a bit of a poor state. They want less time, but the generic kind of 5 years is good enough.
Right.
Fuse boards usually last a lot longer than that. Yeah. We're still changing ones that are like 50 years old.
Are they?
They're still there.
With the old fuse things.
Yeah. You still see them, yeah.
That's amazing. That's really cool. So what's anything else on the horizon for you? What are you concentrating on? You moved premises recently. Well, last January you moved into a new building, didn't you?
Yeah, we've got that now.
That's
so
all smoothed out. That's going all right.
Yeah, so the next podcast will probably be in our staff room.
Nice.
We created a little staff area.
Okay.
We've just opened up another page on our website for obsolete breakers.
Okay.
So in our industry, there's a lot of stuff you can't get off the shelf where they've stopped making it for older boards, and people get in trouble, and other electricians need breakers they can't get off the shelf.
What's a breaker?
So a fuse, they're switches that go inside fuse boards.
Right. Yep.
So MCBs or RCBOs, they're just basically second-hand parts that a lot of people end up binning. And we just, over the years, we've always kept a selection just in case, because that one time you need it and it's there, it's like hallelujah.
Yeah, thank God I kept that.
Finish the job.
Yeah.
So we're going to be setting up a page on that where we can help others out, or other local electricians that might need a part that they can't get.
Okay.
Usually it would mean historically that you'd have to go on eBay, find someone on there, and wait 5 days for it to turn up.
Yeah.
But if you need it, it could be an absolute godsend when it's there. So
okay. So if anyone needs one, get in touch.
Yeah, we've got quite a stock.
Got a few of them.
Yeah, we have. We've got thousands of things.
You still got the same amount of staff, same amount of vans? Has that changed?
No, we actually took on, and we've got a new guy that started today.
Okay.
Literally
nice.
It was his first day today.
Oh, great.
Why.
Yeah,
I was over in Bexhill starting a project over there.
And the project is 21 houses, you
21
said?
flats.
21 flats.
And 2 bungalows.
And you've got the project for all of that, for
and
all wiring and everything.
Yeah,
it's a really good job.
Yeah.
Good. Well done. Yeah, nice one. So I think if anyone wants any electrical work, any sort of help, commercial, residential, and talk to you about Electricare, then they can just get in touch with you.
Yeah, Electricare, it's on our website. There's a form on there you can fill in.
Okay.
Or just give us a call to discuss it. We've got some leaflets and flyers on that.
Nice. Good. All right. Thanks, James. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. And we'll see you all for another podcast soon.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye.